Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to talk a little bit about the DSPP program on Zion Oil and Gas. A lot of people online are saying to boycott the DSPP, saying that we demand some updates and we no longer want to directly give them funding to kind of send management a message. So I was just kind of curious of, what would happen if that were the case. So I decided to get more information on the DSPP program, and I also want to go over just kind of in general the chat that I had with a couple of other people on Zion Oil and Gas earlier today, and I'll just kind of go from there. So the DSPP program, basically I asked them, I said, well, what's the benefit of going through the DSPP program as opposed to buying on Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, and things of that nature? Their reply back was the two main differences are that we work closely with AST as our transfer agent, and therefore have more control and can ensure that AST will allow our stock versus a few brokerages that have issues with our stock, since we're on OTC markets. And the other difference is that when you invest directly, those are new shares being issued by the company. This means we're receiving a greater amount of capital and that they can use that towards operations. So with that being said, it is more helpful basically to, I guess, go directly, but it is still beneficial for them anywhere, So he sent me a link to their website for the DSPP program, and they just kind of gives a lot of information as far as what the DSP program is. How do I close my account? How do I exercise my warrants? Can I transfer my shares to someone else? What does the DSPP offer? All that good stuff. This will be linked in the description. Most of you probably already know basically about this, but I just wanted to provide that in the description below. Okay, so if you think about it, if it helps operations, then obviously it is beneficial to invest directly. However, if they're not operating, then what's the point currently, right? So I then started questioning them about, okay, like, well, what's the deal, the latest on, on the license? Have y'all heard anything yet? And of course, same old is can't release anything to the public, or when we have something, we're going to release it to the public. But as of now, the latest update is basically all we have. So then getting into the latest update, we're just going to review that really quick, where it says that they filed an amendment application with the Israel Ministry of Energy for a new exploratory license on January 24th, 2023, covering the same area as the license number 428, which expires on the 1st of February. Our original application was to replace license 428 was filed in May of 2022, with the revised application was filed on the 29th, 2022. And it goes on to say that they had the third Israeli parliamentary election since 2020. Our new application for the license was delayed until after the election, which took place on the 1st of November. Following the November election, a transition period ensued, and then the new Minister of Energy was appointed on the 1st of January, who only then appointed a new Director General of the ministry. As previously reported, we have re-examined logs and other data from the MJ1 well in preparation for planned re-entry. Our license application was amended to address the planned re-entry, requiring a change in the work plan portion of that application. We have been working closely with the ministry officials since May of 2022 to address questions and resolve any issues raised on our application. We believe that we have met all preliminary license requirements. We cannot guarantee the outcome, but we anticipate our amended license application will be favorably considered by the ministry and other necessary regulatory agencies. During the new formed Israeli administration review process, we plan to maintain our drilling rig and related components on our current pad site and perform necessary rig maintenance, engineering, and other designs and design for planned re-entry. Okay, so which brings up the questions now. Okay, if we cannot guarantee the outcome, so what happens? Basically, what happens if they don't grant the license? And that was a question I asked them: is what happens if you don't grant the license? And he said, well, being that we are exploratory company, if we don't get the license, we can no longer explore. I said, so you're going to be shut down. And he would not come out and say, yes, we're going to be shut down, but rather, well, if we don't get the license, we can't explore, so you're going to be shut down. So if they don't get a license, pretty much that's a wrap, and they basically said it without saying it, right? And then so it then kind of goes to the questions. Well, okay, so if you guys are waiting on on that application, so basically all that's happening now is you got people on site that's just doing routine maintenance, and roughly that's about it. And he kind of got snippy with me, saying, well, everything I have is basically in the January 31st 2023 update. So I went ahead and just at that point was getting a little frustrated, and basically told them that I didn't understand the lack of transparency that's come about from management, and I don't understand why we can't reach out to them directly and voice our frustration, because I don't think that either they're not hearing it, or they just don't care, or both. But he then replied saying that we do share both positive and negative feedback, from our chats with management, and blah 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 blah. And he said we just don't want to mislead people or give non-news. And I said, well, John Brown emailing us and sending out updates saying soon, and all this other junk. I said that's misleading, and that's non-news, so I don't buy that at all. So, I just, it ended with basically he was saying everything we got is from the 31st of January, and there you go. So typically when we start getting like this and we start getting aggravated and frustrated, they'll come out and say something. But again, they're at the mercy of that application. They're not going to come and say anything unless they get that approved. So what I've done in the past is emailed the Ministry of Energy, and I did get a reply back at one point. They take a while, so I actually may hear back from ZNOG and Gas before I would hear back from them, but I guess it's worth a shot to see if they can kind of shed any light on it, which they probably won't be able to say too much on it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that information with you about the DSPP program. I wanted to share the chat that I had with the guys from ZNOG and Gas, and of course it's kind of similar to the chat that we always have of, can't tell you anything, wait for news and all that good stuff. So let me know what you're doing with this stock here, guys. Are you buying? Did you sell? Or are you just holding tight and seeing what happens? So other than that, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.